Happy New Year, Pisces. Welcome to your January 2022 astrological forecast. So the big news for you is Jupiter has moved into your sign on December 28th. Okay, so it's here for, I think, up until May. And then it will move into Aries, and it just falls back into Pisces very shortly in like the later degrees, like 28, 29 degrees or whatever. So those of you born in like the first like 10 days or whatever right now of Pisces, like at the end of February, you're going to be feeling all this stuff like right now, okay, right away. But the thing about Jupiter is it usually spends a whole year in each sign. So it's not really spending as long as it should be in your sign, okay? Like straight through. Whatever, it happens. You can like catch up with it 12 years from now or whatever, the next time Jupiter is in Pisces, okay? But anyway, usually what Jupiter does is it brings a lot of opportunity into your life to do things that you've never done before or have always wanted to do. You could learn something new at this time. It does bring good people into your life. Hopefully all of them are good people. I always tell everyone that, you know, usually when Jupiter's in your sign, you make at least one a good friend that is still with you till like this day. So you would have to think back to all the previous times that Jupiter was in your sign and to see if that coincides with like some kind of friendship or, you know, just having a person come into your life and benefit you in some way or other, okay? This is also a big travel planet, okay? So the opportunity to travel could be like kind of big, you know, if you haven't traveled lately, especially with watching the news and all these flights being canceled, you know, so I could see you putting off something like that, maybe traveling over, I don't know, well, I would say the summer, but by that time Jupiter has left your sign for the summer. Whatever, it's just there's an awful lot of good things coming into your life, and it does kind of give you a optimistic outlook, you know, very hopeful, and at the same time, you know, Neptune, your ruling planet, is still in your sign, so you have these two planets traveling together. And I did do a video on this Jupiter in Pisces, and I did take into consideration that Neptune is also there, so it is a little bit different. Both of these planets are very spiritual planets. Okay, so it's adding to like your persona, your personality, how people view you. It's almost like a 10th house thing but you're having both of these planets in your first house of self. So you may see yourself, I think I even said in that video I did, that don't take yourself too seriously, because you may see yourself as like a guru or something, teaching people, or some kind of healer. I mean, all of these things could be true, but it could just be, you know, these planets kind of just making you feel that way. Sometimes, you know, Neptune governs illusion. Okay, and Jupiter is just big on everything, wants to do everything in a big way, you know. So it could be just these planets, but if you're naturally that way to begin with, this will just enhance that even more, okay? And any kind of psychic ability that you have should really improve or be like at its highest, okay? So anyways, though, the sun starts off in Capricorn at the beginning of the month, okay? So the sun's in Capricorn up until the 19th, and Venus is here still, okay, since like I think November it was. Anyways, it's been retrograde, and it turns direct on the, let's see here, 29th, I believe. Oh well. Anyways, okay. So Venus in Capricorn, right? along with Pluto, which has been here for many years. Okay, the Sun is here, like I said, up until the 19th. Mars is moving here on, I think, the 24th. Okay, and Mercury is starting off in Aquarius, but then turns retrograde and falls back into Capricorn again, like on, let's see here. I can't read my own writing here. At the end of the month here, okay? Plus there's a new moon on the 2nd in Capricorn. So where you have Capricorn in your chart is your 11th house of sociability. Okay, this is socializing with your friends or acquaintances, any place where you would normally go to hang out. But it's your group of buddies or whatever. It's also any kind of organization that you belong to. And it's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So there's a lot going on here right now. A lot of it coincides with the fact that we're in, holiday season, or we're ending holiday season. So you probably had a lot more contact with people than you normally do. Okay, even if you didn't physically go out with your friends, you heard from them or you contacted them or whatever, and it's usually because of the holidays, something like that. When Mars moves here, though, on the 24th, you're going to be a little bit more like out there, visible in a way. Okay, because right now, the month starts off with Mars in Sagittarius still. Okay, up until the 23rd. And where you have Sagittarius in your chart is your 10th house of your career and your public life and how you're known professionally and personally by reputation. So having Mars here does make you a bit of a go-getter at this time. The 10th house is a little bit of competition, though, too, for publicity or attention or for a better position in your professional life, or just better status, period, in your personal life. For people to think that, or think of you as someone with clout or whatever, or think highly of you. Okay, so that could be going on up until the 23rd, where you are being viewed that way by, your public, the public even. So when this planet moves into your 11th house of kind of like networking, okay, with all these other planets that are here in Capricorn, it's going to make you, you'll be, it's not like you're, specifically out socializing or even socializing online, just a network. You would genuinely like to make a new friend or whatever, or join a new group or something like that. But this is really going to help you, having Mars in your 11th house. Okay, it does make you, like I said, a go-getter. And this is your house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So you could have a goal or just something that you really, really want to do. And especially since Jupiter has just moved into your sign, those of you born in the early days of Pisces, you will feel it the most. This urge, to just like wake up one morning, roll out of bed and just feel like you're going to tackle all of these things that you've always wanted to do all your life. Okay, it's that kind of energy. That's what Mars does. It's very energetic, and it's very kind of aggressive if need be, but it's very confident. It helps you to be confident in whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. Okay, now Venus will be here at the same time, so you're going to have the love planets, Venus and Mars, in your 11th house. Okay, of like I said, friends and everything, and socializing. So if you are single, you may actually meet someone at this time, and especially, again, with Jupiter being in your first house, it is attracting people to you, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if you met someone at this time and then that, like, blossomed into some kind of relationship, especially with this new moon on the 2nd in your 11th house. A new moon does bring new beginnings, so there's a new beginning starting in your 11th house of friends. So I would say that that special person that I was talking about, that making that one friend that stays with you for the rest of your life when Jupiter is in your sign, I wouldn't be surprised if that occurred around that date, give or take a few days. And like I said, you don't even have to be out physically anywhere. You know, you could just be socializing online in social media. Okay, now there's also a full moon in Cancer on the 17th, and where you have Cancer in your chart is your 5th house. It's directly across from the 11th house. Okay, the 5th house is like the house of romance and fun and parties and entertainment of any kind. It's gambling, it's speculation. Children, yours or someone else's, or just doing like childish things, or going to a place like an amusement park or some place where you would take a child. It's also creativity, okay? So around this time, I would have to say that around this full moon on the 17th, whomever, if you do meet someone new at the beginning of the month, okay, maybe around that full moon, maybe one of your friends could pull you aside and give you a little talk or whatever about this person. Maybe they say they've heard something about them, or they know of them, or the reputation of this person, or even an organization that you might join at this time, okay? It's just something like that. It's involving your friends and possibly romance or a creative project, okay? Where it's just not mixing well. You know, one of your friends might have something to say with, I don't know, your romance even, you know, or again, a creative project that you're working on, or have finished and are presenting it right now, you know, to the public, which is where that Mars in your 10th house in Sagittarius comes in. You know, you could actually be doing something right now, like performing in public, okay? So you're getting this feedback, you know, around that full moon in regards to, you know, whatever it is that you do. And, you know, actually, you just should ignore stuff like this when people tell you something possibly negative, or they don't seem too excited or as excited as you are about whatever it is that you're doing. So I would just kind of like ignore it and just look at the source. You know, it's more than likely one of your goofy friends, right, that says something to you that, and they're like that with everybody, not just you. Okay, they could even just be like jealous, is what I think. Okay, so anyways, okay, so the sun moves into Aquarius on the 19th. Okay, Saturn is still here. And Mercury actually moves into Aquarius on the 2nd, but then it turns retrograde on the 14th. And like I said, falls back into Capricorn on, let me see, I can't find this, the 25th. I finally found it. Okay. So this Mercury, okay, first, in your 12th house, when Mercury's transiting here, I usually call this like the investigator, okay? It's a time where your 12th house is your house of secrets and confidences and things that you do behind the scenes that you don't necessarily share with other people. So you could be snooping a little bit, or just trying to find something out, you know, trying to figure out what's going on with anything. It could be a person, or just, you know, something that you're just curious about. You know, you have Saturn here still in your 12th house, and the 12th house is called the house of self-undoing, okay, because a lot of times you can drive yourself crazy just overthinking things. This is the house of your dreams, not just your dreams, but your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, but more like your subconscious. And you could just have like depression for no reason at all. You can't figure out why you're depressed, and fear is the big thing here. You know, having Saturn in the 12th house, all of a sudden all these fears pop up, and you have no idea where they came from, because you never had, let's say, like a fear of water or something, or a fear of flying. All of a sudden you're like, and you never had this before in your whole life. So that's usually coming from just like having this planet here, okay? Because you have to remember, Jupiter was just here, so it was kind of acting as a buffer for the full effect of Saturn. You weren't getting it, the full effect, okay? now that Jupiter has moved into your first house, it does still act as a buffer area against anything that could possibly be negative, but you do still have Saturn just transiting here, you know, by itself. Right now with the Sun and Mercury, but you know what I mean. These it's still going to be there for a while, so don't take too, you know, don't pay too much attention to some of your thoughts that spring from absolutely nowhere. Okay. Again, now back to this Mercury. Okay, so you could even be trying to find out a little bit more about maybe someone you might have met while socializing, or an organization that you would like to belong to, but you're not sure if you want to commit just yet, or something that's going on with your friends or one of your friends. Okay, you may be trying to figure out what's going on with them, and maybe even discussing them with one of your other friends, whatever. So when Mercury turns retrograde, you could find out stuff accidentally even that you really didn't need to know or didn't care to know, you know, but it could, in a way, clear a lot of stuff up for you as to why someone was behaving the way they were, or why, you know, what did they mean by something that they might have said but never fully explained. You know, because somebody could have you like kind of confused right now in regards to their behavior, period. So when Mercury does turn retrograde, I think at that time something will come out where you actually find out why, and it makes sense to you. You know, so you really don't feel bad like you were. You know, but this is also good for any other kind of information that you were trying to find out. Okay, because usually when Mercury's direct in this area, you know, you start, like I said, snooping. And then when it turns retrograde, usually that's when communications are harder to like bring about, or information is harder to find and whatever. But a lot of times it isn't, and especially in this house, the 12th house of hidden matters. Okay, so I would think that you could come across anything that you were trying to find out. Maybe you were just asking the wrong person or inquiring in the wrong place, and when Mercury turns retrograde, you figure you try something different. Okay, and it works. So the planet Uranus, right, was retrograde. Out of all the planets, I believe that was the only one that was still retrograde, and it finally turns direct on the 18th. And where you have, Uranus in your chart is in your third house of Taurus. Okay, Uranus is in Taurus, so you know, this is your house of communication and travel. I would think that when this planet turns direct, it will take a while there, you know, to kick in. But I would think that you would have the opportunity to do like short distance travel. That's what the third house is, which means like so many miles from your home, or like an overnight trip or a weekend trip. And it's usually a road trip, okay? But it just seems like a lot more opportunities are going to come up now, that out of the blue too. A lot of these aren't planned at all. You just have the sudden urge or the ability to just travel. Also, the same thing with communications. You may have had a hard time even with your mail, regular postal mail, not getting it, can't find where it is. Nobody can find out what's going on with your mail. Why does it end up wherever, you know, and then suddenly it shows up. It all shows up at one time. You get a ton of mail or something like that. This is also with emails and any kind of messages, okay, voicemail, text messages, things like that. Yeah, when this planet turns direct, a lot of this stuff should clear up. This is also, third house is like your everyday life, okay, and the people or places you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day, even like your neighbors. Okay, this is also the house of siblings and cousins. So you may have had, I don't know, different kinds of exchanges with these people that seem like pretty, like flipped out or something, you know. if a lot of unbelievable things, let's say, have been said to you. You know, and it could just be a neighbor even just gossiping, you know, about another neighbor or your neighborhood, period. Something or other, you know. Again, when this planet turns direct, a lot of this stuff will come out. The truth will come out, you know, so you can get past whatever kind of stories or something people may have been telling you, you know, at this time. There's also third house, big communication, even written, the written word. And this is also an internet house. So you could, you know, have written something or posted something online that really, now that this planet is going direct, for some reason, it could possibly really take off. You know, like a lot of people could see your post, and it could get like a lot of hits to it, a lot of likes or loves or whatever. It could go viral, something or other that you posted. Okay. So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Pisces on the 6th and 7th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Virgo, and those dates are the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, or anything to do with children. It's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 15th, 16th, 17th, 29th, and 30th. The best time for money is the 8th, 9th, 10th, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The best time for your career is the 1st, 27th, and 28th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 25th, and 26th. So I hope you enjoyed your astrological forecast for January 2022. We're starting a whole new year, and you're starting out with Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, in your sign. So make the most of it, because it's not going to be there for like a really long time. Okay, so you really have to cram a lot of stuff in there, all, you know, whenever you can. Okay, so thank you very much to my subscribers who continue to come view my videos and support me. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing that right now and click on that notification bell, where you will be notified each time I upload something. And check out my weekly forecasts. Check out, ask me a question in the description box below. It's for people who only want to know maybe one or two things about their chart. Okay, but if you would like your entire chart done, there's also a link there to my website. So you may want to go there and check that out. My fees are going up. I haven't changed them just yet. So you might be able to slide something in there before I do. Okay, so Happy New Year. See you next week. Goodbye.